At $12.99, this might just be the cheapest product we will ever review on this channel. Despite its cheapness, this thing is not trash. In fact, it's actually a container for your trash. Welcome to the channel, Drew. I'm Drew, and we're doing another Drew review. This time, we're looking at the Pyopod from Fishpond. At first, I thought Pyopod was a stupid name, but then I learned how to read, and I realized it actually stood for Pack It Out Pod, which is objectively a pretty good name. Real quick, for anyone who doesn't know fly fishing, Fishpond's a pretty large brand in the fly fishing world. They make nets, rod cases, bags for holding all your fishing stuff, reel cases, and lots of other different like accessory type fly fishing gear. But before you click away, this product is not just for fly fishermen. It's for anyone who spends time outdoors. So it's basically just a mini trash can. It's a little plastic cup with a rubber lid, and it allows you to push stuff into it, and it just doesn't come out very easily. So it's a micro trash container. It's super simple in its design. It's a cup with a lid. There is a little clip on the back for your pocket or for a strap or belt, and then there's also a little loop on the lid. And it comes with a big beefy reusable zip tie that you can attach to whatever you want and then take it off and put it on something else. You've probably noticed it's pretty much tiny. Makes it really good for just attaching to your pack, a belt, a dog leash, whatever. It's really versatile, and it's made from micro trash, so you don't really need a large size. So the cup itself is a pretty hard plastic, and then the top's more like a silicone. The cup is just a cup, but the top's got a little bit of uniqueness to it. It's got these little slats in it, and that just helps you push stuff in, but then not come out. At least not come out easily anyway. I tested it, I had it full of micro trash, and I shook it upside down as hard as I could, and nothing was coming out, nothing was budging. So pretty much the only design improvement I might make is making the top come off a little easier, like a little tab that you could pull it off, because it is on there pretty good. I personally think if they had any other lid mechanism, it would not be nearly as useful as it is. If it was a screw cap, it would be too much of a pain and a two-handed thing to use it. Or if it was like a simple pop cap that you had to take off every time, it would fail and trash would go everywhere. This is really like the ultimate cap for this device. Initially, I was kind of skeptical of this. It's like, really, they're charging for a tiny plastic cup, but it's actually pretty awesome to have. On my first day going out with it, I already noticed that I was actually picking up micro trash. When I'm out, I often don't, because it's so small that it's a real pain to either fill your pockets with micro trash that just falls back out anyway, or actually find a waste receptacle. And when you're out in the wilderness, they're just not around that often. But when I had this, I was finding fishing line and other little bits of micro trash and actually stuffing it in there. If you're in an area that gets fly fished a lot, you'll probably find fishing line and leaders all over the place, and I know I do. And I'm ashamed to admit that I usually don't pick them up just because I don't have a great place for them. But with this, I can just wind them up and put them right in here. And on my first day using this, I found like 6 leaders and stuffed them in. I've also found it kind of changes your mindset from almost ignoring micro trash or not even thinking of it subconsciously to when you have a place to put it, and for me anyway, a product to use, a new piece of gear. It's like I get a little hit of dopamine every time I would find one and get to put it in the Pyopod. So not only did it do its job, but it actually changed the way my brain worked and made me want to use it more. Like I mentioned before, it's super simple to use. You take this trash, you kind of just shove it in there with your finger. The one thing I noticed is with fishing line, which is what I was mostly picking up, it was a little tricky because you just shove it in, but little bits would be sticking out. I found the best way is just to get as much as you can and wrap it up tightly, and then it shoves in pretty nicely and stays in. The little tag ends of line that you might cut off after you tie your fly or your hook on, those can be a little tricky. You kind of just have to carefully place them into the hole or into one of the little slits on the side. This little plastic cup that I have strapped on my pack now at all times is incredibly simple in concept, in form, and in function. And yet everyone who sees it or asks about it, the response is always the same. They always say, wow, everyone should have one of those. And I agree. I think everyone should have something like this. It's such a simple thing, and it actually encourages you to, one, pick up micro trash, and two, not create any of your own. It's not going to solve the problem, but it keeps wild places more wild. And not only does it enhance your own experience in the outdoors, but it helps enhance it for everyone else too. In the spirit of getting more people to use these, I'm going to design and make a 3D printable model, and I'm going to make that file available for free for anyone. And I'm probably also going to make a bunch of them and just leave them in like parks and places around where I live, just so people will maybe use them and pick up micro trash. I think a product like this, as cheap as it is going to be a tough sell. Not many people are going to buy it because they're going to be like, oh, $13? I don't need to spend $13 for a little plastic cup. And there's some truth to that, but I do think everyone should have one. So if you think the same way I do, maybe check these out. They have them online. It's $13, not a huge thing. Or maybe just wait till I come out with a 3D printed version and then you can make your own. So subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been another Drew review with the channel Drew. I'm a believer in this product. I think everyone should go get something like that. Even for walking your dog in a park, you can put it on your leash, pick up cigarette butts or any other micro trash. Anyway, again, thanks for watching and go pick up some trash.